People. Que pasa, sakpa, say what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News, where the difference is in the meds. First thing that is popping in the news. Gone are the days when these volatile communities were governed by dons. While not trying to glorify any sorts of donship, however, these dons, they used to be like Robin Hood. Them go out, them do them thing, and they help children, broke family in other communities. However, we see the don thing, it pretty much changed. The new dons nowadays, they are persons that extort the people in the community. They are pretty much some pestilence and menace to the people in them society. They are taken from the poor to fulfill their own pocket and selfish need. This can be said or applied to a don from Red Hills Road, Cassia Park era. This don was locked up, convicted for a couple of takeaway and extortion. Back in 2020 once again, he was said to have been the mastermind in the takeaway of two persons. A 26-year-old lady, he wanted her to leave her house so that he could rent it out. An next 46-year-old lady, she had some sort of round robin and she makes some money. He heard about it through his affiliates on the streets. Him send phone for tell her, say, listen, I want $50,000 out of whatever profit you made. However, that $50,000 was not forthcoming, so therefore, him take away the 26-year-old and him take away the 46-year-old. So two people in 2020, on top of his other trail of murder and extortion. However, people, it did not stop there. I am speaking about lately. He has been terrorizing the residents in the neighborhood. People will build them house. People will struggle. Hard-working business people. Hard-working people will do them 9 to 5. Live a legitimate life. They are now being told that, listen, we're going to need your house because we need to rent it out. Or if you're going to live there, you have to start paying some sorts of rental or mortgage to the bad man realtor. However, those persons that don't comply, them either have to leave, them are going to DEADING, or they are going to battle BOOM them house. He has done that on several occasions. One lady contacted the media and she said, listen, me have to run left my house, go live a hotel, paying in excess of $10,000 a day. Me can't come out on the street until night time, me go get food. So therefore, $10,800 a day for hotel, not to include food, exclusive of food. Me pick them have to leave school. Because you understand, when you live in a certain community, the kids usually go to the closest school or a school that is the closest by. So therefore, the man would send his little cronies, which are his family, are mostly little young jit, teenager, for do him dirty work. So the lady have to leave. And next lady that also contacted the media, she said, listen, I have to leave my house. You know how hard I work day and night, 2 and 3 jobs. Buy cement, buy block, buy this, buy that. There was nobody to help me. Now, me have to left. Me have to run left my house. And it is said that this same don from behind those prison walls, he is sending out orders through cell phone with his crony, mostly like a teenager. Go contact this one, this one over there, so that one over here, so, and tell them, say, listen, you see these set of houses, they are good for the market. It is easy for me to rent out these houses. Since you know I'm paying a sort of extortion, I am asking you to leave. So people, we are talking about the badness realtor. Even in the case as it pertains to one lady, him tell her say she too selfish because all him asks is that she pay a little thing every month and she don't want to facilitate his FUCKRY. So therefore him send people go destroy the lady house. So people like me say, this man's history, this man's whole way of making money is through extorting. He is not going out there and extorting other establishment, rich business establishment out of the era. He is extorting his own people in his own community. He's been known for doing this pre-2020. Even after getting locked up for a couple of takeaway and extortion, him catch 2 more cases in a 2020. Fast forward 2022, almost 2023, he is doing the same thing. So the residents, them a ask, them a ponder, them a ask the authority, the popo, the government security minister, how is it that this man have this history and he is still doing the same thing? It is as if nothing has changed. And the thing is that we've heard all sorts of tough talk from all sorts of minister of security. Minister this, minister that, Minister Horse DEAD and Cowfat, saying that, listen, we are going to get very serious on these correctional officers. And these officers will be locked up. They are going to do time. However, people, what we've seen is that it is just a 9-day talk like most things in a Jamaica. It's just a different day, but the same old SHIT. And people, isn't it coincidental that yesterday at the JLP conference, we hear your Prime Minister saying that, listen, we're going to put in some sorts of new or amend some sorts of new correctional act or bill. This correctional act or bill, which is going to start in the next fiscal period, it is going to bring in, implement new prison. In these new sophisticated technological prison, these guards, they will be blocked from using any sorts of cell phone. Whichever correctional officers that are collaborating with these dons, these criminals, to commit any sorts of MURDER, or in the case of this don, any sorts of extortion, they are going to receive stiffer penalty. They are going to get in excess of a decade. Now, people, at the end of the day, you can implement all sorts of rules and regulation. However, if the system is corrupt, they are going to find ways to go around it. If the people that you put in there are not properly paid, and people, not to justify anybody's pay scale, because at the end of the day, whenever you sign up for any sort of job, whether it is mediocre or not, that is what you sign for. So therefore, don't go into it and then want to change the rules and start to complain. So listen, that's why I'm a thief. That's why I get corrupt, because the pay is low. If you don't want it, other willing participants are out there that would take that job and make it do what it do. So people, at the end of the day, me just assure you, the people them a complain, the people them a ask the question. I am asking the same sorts of question. How is it that a man locked up for a couple of years manages to run the street being the don same way? And we understand this yes man mentality. So me no know what is going on with these criminals in Jamaica. So it just seems as if all of these young youths, them either have aspirations, them look up, their dream is to be the next don in the era, for collect all of this extortion money. Or maybe it is fear. Fear that they themselves might lose their life if they don't follow the order. Fear that if they are not aligned with these extortionists or done, they themselves or their family can get kicked out of their house and their house will be rented. Or these youths are just as evil like the don. So people, moral of the story is that gone are the days when the Dons were usually the Robin Hood of these volatile communities. Now these Dons, they are menace. They are pretty much preying on their own community. Point blank and period. Now people, I am sure that you've heard the expression, Jamaica is like a Netflix series. Jamaica is like Bellevue Central, and people, it continues. This one is called MURDER at a final send-off. MURDER at a FUNERAL. I am speaking about in St. James, Montego Bay, Johns Hall to be specific. A family left. They went to the final send-off of maybe a friend or a family member. Don't know the details. While they were there grieving, going through the whole rigmarole of any sorts of send-off. Just as the family was about to leave, 4 people in one vehicle. 2 men rolled up, start blaze up the people while they were in the car. People, the details based on what the Popo report said, 2 men walked up and started to spray the car. Now, obviously, if 2 men walked up, they are going to see that, all right, one little baby, one little boy, one little girl in the car. People, it did not change their decision because they sprayed the car anyway. After the SMOKE cleared, 4 persons were rushed to the hospital at the end of the day. 5-year-old Tavoy Cummins, 31-year-old Mr. Shaw, both of them lost their life. The 2 other persons are presently in the place of recovery. Now people, when we hear stuff like this, it is obvious that these people were marked for DEATH. Like them say, if them can't catch Quaco, them are going to catch him shot. However, people, we should amend that Quaco bill. We should say, even when them catch Quaco, they are out for the shirt, the pants, the shoes, the lace, the socks, everything that is associated with Quaco. You are marked for DEATH. And people should understand this. These people are trying to be the most dangerous, despicable criminals in the history of Jamaica. For them to achieve that objective, they have to do some sorts of off-the-wall ISH. Don't know what that family member did. Don't know if that family member whose final send-off they were targeting before, or that was just one of Quaco's friend or family next of kin once again. So therefore, they are trying to wipe out any and everybody because, people, this was obviously planned. So therefore, they might have been expecting a different target. Maybe the person whose final send-off it was not the person that they were after. So therefore, they feel this is the psychology of these gunmen. If them can wipe out one, check out the funeral to see if the target is there. If we've not dead, then wipe out some more. Check out that funeral and so on and so on. It is like a revolving door of madness. The madness continues. Point blank and period. So people, me just say, it is quite obvious that these gunmen, they don't give a DAMN. Them no matter at which part, which place, who did it, what time. From people forget it, people are going to just get it. It is inevitable. So therefore, whenever you know say your family member is aligned or affiliated with any sort of gang member, maybe you should be very careful. Maybe you should ask for the assistance of the Popo whenever that family member is going to be arrested. Because obviously these people are not going to allow the living to live, and they are not going to allow the DEAD to rest in peace. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos straight to the point, no sorts of beating around the bush, show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. And last but not least, word to the wise. Whenever you are rising in life, there's always going to be a set of vipers. They see your potential. They see that persons are gravitating towards you because of who you are. So therefore, they see that your ceiling is in the stratosphere. However, when they look at themselves, they realize that because of their insecurity, they realize that people maybe gravitate to them because they are pretending to be something that they are not. They realize that their ceiling is in the cellar, in the abyss of hell. So therefore, for them to feel as if they are up, they are going to do everything to bring you down, point blank and period.